Small Talk is the show where we express ourselves with small randomness. We fill every show with something different. There is no topic too big or too small for us to cover. Our show doesn't have a real path that we follow, and that's what makes it fun to watch. So let's get to the show. Hey guys, welcome to Small Talk. Today I have Teddy because I yet again didn't have anything planned today.
Woke up this morning. I wanted to be on Small Talk.
Woke up this morning and I was like, I have nothing for today. And Teddy's back from 2 long weeks, so I was like, why not? Give a little detail about her trip, her road trip. How was it?
It was really amazing. It was genuinely one of the coolest things I've done. I think I'm really happy I did the experience. I don't think I'll do it again because I think 2 weeks was just a little bit too long. Yeah. I think by the end of it, my boyfriend and I went together. I think by the end of it, we were like near killing each other.
Well, isn't that the sign of true testimony? Like if you could survive, like I've heard people, if we could survive the shutdown, then we're good. If we could survive a 2-week road trip together, just 2 of us, I think we could be good.
We didn't kill each other. We didn't get into any fights. But like at the same time, we got to the point where I was like, if you continually, he does this thing where he likes to steal the covers off the bed, but like,
Zach does that.
But like, and when we go to sleep, he's like, no, I don't want any covers. It's really hot. So then I get all the covers because I'm always freezing. And then like halfway through the night, he's stolen all the covers. And I think at one point I woke him up. I was like, if you take these covers again, I will book a new hotel room and I will walk out of here. Like I was so annoyed.
Ouch.
But we didn't get into any fights. We didn't kill each other. We're still good. We still hung out yesterday.
My $1 million question is, obviously we know how things are down here in South Florida with the whole COVID. What's it like? Because you went from state to state, right? What was your end game? Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado.
Okay. So what was it like from each state?
Every state was really different, and it really did make me appreciate South Florida more because you went to places. We went to major metropolitan cities most of the time, so I will say I can't talk for outside of that, suburban areas. But the first place we went to was Nashville, right? No, we went to Atlanta. The first place we went to Atlanta, terrible. I'm sure Atlanta's a great city, but the one hotel we went to, they had like signs everywhere, like you have to wear your mask, only 4 people on an elevator at a time. We were the first two in an elevator. 18 people came in after us. We got trapped in the back. No one was wearing a mask in the hotel. No one in the hotel wore. And again, this isn't a reflection of Atlanta. There's this hotel. But no one wore a mask. Everyone was crowding each other. It got to the point where we were so uncomfortable. We got off a floor. Like we got off as soon as we could just so we could wait for another elevator. We went to the Atlanta Aquarium, which I will say everyone was amazing there. Everyone was wearing their masks, even the little kids.
That's good.
So but that hotel, it was so bad, and it was raining, and it was just nobody wore their masks. It was, the aquarium was amazing. We met this guy named Granddaddy who was on Anthony Bourdain's show. We just happened to meet him. Like he performs music on the side of the road, and he was really cool, and he was all about wearing a mask and stuff. I won't go city by city. I'm just trying to.
It's always nice to see those people that are like, masks.
Yeah. Well, he was really good. I have a whole video with him about how he was talking about, it's so important that we have to love one another, and these people who aren't wearing masks are proving that they don't have love for their fellow man.
Right.
Because just because they're okay and they would live through it, or, it's not going to protect them. They don't care about protecting other people. And it was just like beautiful speech he had. I'll post it somewhere at some point, but it was really sweet. Then we went up near Tennessee, and that's where we went to Nashville and Memphis, which Nashville was pretty good. Memphis was less masky, but we also kind of went to downtown clubby area. So like I can't really judge all Memphis on that. One of my favorite cities though. Memphis was absolutely beautiful. Like when we went to the actual city, gorgeous.
Really? So I'm a little homebody. I've only ever driven through states. We've driven to Virginia, and then we've driven to New York and like stopped at like hotels. And actually when we went to Virginia, it was when we were in scouting, so it was like we were all on a bus, so we just drove straight through. But when we drove to New York, it was a family trip, so we made stops. Like we stopped in DC, which was really cool because I've never been to DC. So that was really fun. But obviously this is pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It's 2013. I still have a summer 13 Washington D.C. T-shirt. I was like, I worked at the gym the other day. I was like,
It's really cute.
memorabilia. I was gonna give that shirt away actually, and I was like,
No, you can never give it away.
Nah, let me cut it. I cut it up.
Yeah.
Because obviously, a shirt when I was 16 does not fit 24-year-old me. So
I was gonna say that fits you.
no. So well, actually,
crop
it
tops.
did, but like it was a little tight in the neck. It was a little tight in the arms, and it was just like tight all over. So I cut it up, not cut it up, but like cut a neck hole, cut the waist and the arms, and it fit. It was like a little cute little crop top for the gym.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I remember this trip before COVID. It was nice.
When you actually could trip.
Yes. Like, I'm so, like, this year, and I'm sure a lot of you can feel like it, I'm just, like, I find myself very, like, upset almost every day. Whether I'm going to work or thinking about something that was supposed to happen or thinking about, like, the holidays. Obviously, the holidays are coming up. And it's like everything's different. And I'm just, like, always upset. I don't know if any of you are like that. But, like, Thanksgiving's coming up. And it's like, what are we doing for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I'm asking my mom. And my family has grown. Not, like, me personally. But, like, my extended family. Cousins are now engaged and married and kids. So it's like everyone's grown. And, like, so a good half of us are not going to be meeting for Thanksgiving, which is really sad because there's two new babies that I still have not gotten to meet because COVID and I'm around all these people. It's like, they're little newborns. Not going to go near. But I do want to. Well, obviously with a mask when their immune systems grow a little. They're about a month old, 2 months old.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, maybe soon I can go see them.
Yeah.
But, like, we had this customer come in. She's very colorful. Inside and out. And she had a mask hanging from her ear. She walked into our store, and my manager asked her to put her mask on because she walked up to the front table, and she obviously wasn't wearing a mask. And she wouldn't put it on.
Bye.
So we're not, as a company, we're not allowed to... They change things up. We're not allowed to tell them, oh, you can't come in.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting. But
that's really not good,
thankfully, it doesn't happen a lot. This is like the first time probably within the last few months, like it majorly, that we've had this issue where we've asked someone to put on a mask and they refuse to. So she stood there a little longer. My manager backed away because she's like, I'm not helping her. I was like, I'm not helping her either. And when I say colorful, it was like we have this little spiel when we're standing outside the store that we have to tell customers. Obviously, keeping them to the 6 feet distance. Have you had a bra fitting? Like a little spiel. And so I was giving my little spiel, and she just walked right by me. So I was like, okay. So I didn't say anything about the mask. I didn't notice the mask, and I didn't say anything about it. And then my manager did. And so when she refused to, she just kind of stood there for a minute. She was with this guy, her whatever. And she eventually left. The guy continued on. He was wearing a mask.
Okay. So at least one of them had a brain.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like it makes sense to why our cases are going a little haywire, but it's like I
got to a point. So I got back on Friday. And then yesterday, my boyfriend and I... No, was it yesterday? No, Saturday, my boyfriend and I went to Miami, and that's where we got tested, which is, if you're wondering why we're so close, I just got tested negative. And while we were down there, they had a gun show. So we're like, cool, let's go to the gun show. And while we were there, everyone's in masks. Everyone, I have to say, for being at a gun show where I thought there was going to be a lot of people, like, really mad about the masks, the worst I saw was, like, people pulling it below their noses, which is, like, still really not good.
Right.
But, like, no one was that I saw, and it was a big show, was straight up just not wearing it. Like, no one had it pulled down around their chin. No one was doing the earring. Everyone was at least covering their mouths, which I was very impressed with.
Yeah.
That was, like I said, down here in Miami. And while I was there, I, for one reason or another, ended up, and, I was wearing my mask. I had a really bad anxiety attack. And I had that issue of I was in the middle of a very big room. I'm dizzy. I felt like I was going to pass out. And it wasn't because of the mask. It's because I have anxiety. The mask just didn't help. and you start to feel like you can't breathe. I was like, this is, for all the people who go out there and say, oh, I have anxiety, I can't breathe in a mask, it makes me hyperventilate. Like, I truly, really did experience that yesterday. And guess what? I still wore that effing mask.
Yeah.
Was I leaning on my boyfriend and crouching down and leaning on things the whole way to get out? Yeah. But I'm not going to put other people's lives at risk because I'm having a personal issue. And if it was really so bad, I could have told security I need to go out through one of the, they have the side doors because of the convention center. And, kept your mask on, go out. The second you get outside, you take your mask off. And it made me so angry that I was like, I literally just went through what all these people's excuses are, and I still kept my mask on.
So going with that, I'm not. I was involved in scouting. My brother still is. So recently, my mom and him did this whole 10 Commandment hike, which is a little thing for like Cub Scouts to get used to hiking.
Yeah.
And obviously they all had to wear a mask, and it's outside. And he goes, for anyone that says they can't breathe in a mask, he goes, not to like call people out, but he's like, they're just wimps, because he was the main
people out right to me.
He was the main person leading, and it's like there's like 80 people. Yeah. But like obviously everyone was all spread out. And he was the main person, but he had to run back and forth from the beginning of the line to like the middle to the end. And he ran the entire time with a mask on. Well, not ran, but like jog. So he's like, if I can do that for a couple of hours, people are just wimps.
If you truly, truly are putting, because I know that there are people who truly have medical issues, who it's hard to breathe. And if that's happening, you're more than likely immunocompromised or more likely to get this virus, which means you really shouldn't be just like shopping around.
Right.
And if you are one of those people, because there are fake ADA cards going out there saying like, this person didn't have to wear a mask. The ADA doesn't give cards like that, by the way. But if you are someone that has actual, people with service dogs, people who truly can't wear a mask, every store is required to do curbside assistance. Like every single store by law.
I know the mall has that, and I not that I'm
understand how you do it from the mall.
I don't either.
But they have it.
Yeah, they do have it. There are stations on every entrance of the mall. Every corner you drive around, there's curbside pickup.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how the mall uses it, but like it's offered. Yeah. And just I do want to go back to your trip on like seeing how different states had the mask situation going. But I feel like being in the mall all the time, because I work there, I see now more people being serious about the mask than in the very beginning. It's quite interesting. I would think it would be reversed. Yeah. You would think that people would be more serious at the very beginning versus now. But I guess they're seeing how, it's November and we're still dealing with this. Yeah. It's still an issue. Maybe I should actually protect myself, do what we're supposed to be doing, and we can get out of this hole.
I would like to also think that it's a little bit of the shaming that's going on, because I don't know if you've seen, there's a lot of videos, and like the second you see someone try and fight about not putting on a mask, everyone whips their phone out, because you will be shamed, because like a lot of countries aren't dealing with this as much anymore. They have very low numbers because the citizens actually care and listen, and a lot of us are, but a lot of us don't, and that's the reason that we're still in this. Right. And I like to think it's a little bit because people are shaming them. And like, while I think it's ridiculous that we have to videotape everything, I will shame you. And I will be one of the people taking a video, trying to get your name and posting online, being like, hey, at your workplace, I want to let you know what this employee is doing. Yeah. I can't believe you support this. This is a thing. I'm not trying to get people fired. I'm not trying to ruin people's lives. But I can tell you from someone who's worked customer service, if I went out, I got reported one time for hanging out with one of my trans friends for, by the way, one of my best friends. They happened to be trans, and someone said, I can't believe your workplace supports this. It was Starbucks, by the way, one of the most like liberal companies. And someone tried to get us fired for hanging out. It's like, I will report you to your workplace for not wearing a mask and fighting with people. Right to me, not Val. But
Teddy and
I will.
Guys. Okay, so
sorry, I didn't mean to get off track there.
Let's go back to a positive note here. Your trip. Well, semi-positive.
As I spit my water everywhere. Yeah,
how trip. Did you... Was the anxiety more or less up and down all throughout? Because, like, obviously, we're in a semi-hot zone.
Yeah.
And obviously there are other states that you may have traveled through that are not so hot. So
Yeah.
was it good to be out of the hot seat and be able to like experience life again, or was it more stressful? Or
It was definitely
curious.
It was hard personally. I'm trying to think how to say it, because obviously we live here in what you said, the hot zone. So my mentality is I have to wear a mask everywhere I go. I have to wear it outside. I have to wear it when I'm around people. I'm not taking it off unless there's no one within like a mile of me.
Right.
I want to wear my mask. I want to be safe. And in the places that weren't so crazy, a lot of people weren't wearing their masks. We went to a restaurant and the server literally didn't have his mask on. I was like, I'm not going to say anything because I understand that where we are right now is not a hot zone.
Right.
We were not in a major metropolitan city. It was just like a pass through where we got lunch. And nobody in the restaurant was really wearing, they had them, but they weren't wearing them. And it was a weird mentality switch of, I will report you, like I said, to your work for not wearing a mask and fighting about it when you're in a hot zone. But it was hard for me to remember that I was the weird one wearing my mask 100% 24/7 in places where the virus wasn't that big and many people weren't. And it made my anxiety higher because I was like, why aren't these people being safe? Why aren't they doing it?
Because you also have to think that a spot that's not so hot right now easily could turn into a hot spot.
Yeah.
Like,
but at the same time, they don't have that same mentality.
Right.
Because some of these places were out in the country. You know, we're just stopping for, like I said, lunch or stopping to use the restroom. So they probably don't get a lot of visitors. They're probably...
they feel safe.
Yeah, they feel safe. They feel like they don't need to wear their masks. They know everybody. Why should they have to wear it all of a sudden? So they don't have the mentality. So I looked strange. And I don't know. It was a very weird dynamic.
So getting to the end of your road trip, going.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was really awesome. It was really insane for all the temperature stuff. Denver was... I think I loved a lot of the cities I saw, but Denver was one place where I was like, I would move to Denver.
Oh, really?
Like, I would straight. Denver was so cool. And even, it must be different, obviously, without COVID or pre-COVID, because it was pretty dead and a lot of things were on lockdown. During COVID, like, Denver's pretty closed.
Still?
Yeah. I think they reclosed.
Oh, okay.
And it was really sad, but it was such a beautiful city. The people there are so nice. And I mean, the weather was beautiful. Everything was just amazing there. And everyone wore their masks. It was one of those places that I don't believe it's a hot zone. They are,
but they're treating
mostly
it
closed down. Yeah, but everyone wore their masks. And it was a really awesome place.
Guys, why can't we do that?
Yeah. Boulder too. I must say, we went to Boulder one day, and that's, you know, the college town, and that was amazing. Everyone was wearing their masks. There were shops that were literally turning people away. Nobody was fighting, saying, I'm not going to wear it. Like, everyone had extras on them. It was really nice. Go Colorado.
Colorado for the win.
Yeah.
And so what was the sole purpose of your trip? Why did we take this road trip?
Just to go.
Just to go?
Yeah. Michael and I used to travel so much. I'm sure you remember we used to travel. You know, it was like once a month that we would go somewhere. And it was either little day trips or once every few months we were flying somewhere just because he travels for work a lot and I want to see a lot of the country. So it worked out really well. And we haven't really traveled all year because of COVID. The only things we've been doing were like little day trips to like Jupiter or like, you know, little places. We haven't gone anywhere. So finally he said, okay, well, I need to travel a bit for work. I want to meet a client anyway. And I said, well, this is part way to where my sister lives because our plan was to meet up with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece. And we're like, let's go visit Colorado. And we were gonna fly, and I said I really don't feel comfortable flying.
Right.
So we said, all right, well, neither of us have ever done a road trip like that. Let's
go.
road trip. Yeah, it was a little bit of a spur of a moment. I think I planned it a month before we left.
So something that not a lot of people know about me, or maybe they do, I don't know. My mom, I'm the type of person that likes to go anywhere and anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
And she used to always say, she calls me a bag lady because I always have bags. I'm like, I love backpacks and like tote bags and stuff like that. So she used to say, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if I called you one day and you were like in some other state or something. So going into beginning of 2020, Zach and I were talking. I was like, I want to travel this year. I want to go somewhere. I'm a homebody. I've never gone, I was telling you before, I've never gone anywhere except Virginia and D.C. and New York. That is the extent of my travels. So we planned a cruise because he's always like, he grew up on cruises, essentially. I've never been on a cruise. Mm-hmm. So he was like, let's go on a cruise. I was like, okay. We had one planned, I think, in 2 weeks, like the first weekend of November. Canceled. Yeah. We were supposed to go to NASCAR race, March. Canceled. I'm sure I'm not the only one that had plans, and it's like, everything got ripped to shreds, basically, because of COVID. I don't know.
I just want to say,
it's always next year, right?
All the holidays are ripped to shreds because Halloween... All the big holidays, Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's. Well, I don't know Thanksgiving. I don't know what day of the week Thanksgiving is.
The Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
It's always a Thursday. It's last Thursday of November.
I'm so stupid.
Teddy.
But I know Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's are all on weekends this year. Halloween's on a Saturday. Christmas and New Year's are on Fridays.
Oh, really?
Halloween is a blue moon, so it's the second full moon in the month, and it's daylight savings, so we gain an hour of Halloween night. So it's like the biggest Halloween that we can't do. Christmas is on a Friday, which means that you would have the whole weekend. Can't do that. New Year's is on a Friday, so you have the whole weekend.
So you know what? We're gonna wake up January 1st. It's gonna be a new year. We're not gonna dwell on 2020. Some good things that happen, and I'm not gonna burst them all out there. But good things did happen.
Great things happen.
Great things happen, but a lot of bad. And you know what? It is November. Well, not quite. It's 26. Close enough. I say we need to do whatever the mumbo jumbo that you and Dawn do. I can't think of what it is.
Dawn does her magic with her wand.
The magic. The magic needs to happen, and 2020 needs to be a thing of the past.
Also, register to vote. Early voting ends October 31st.
Have you voted yet?
I'm going to vote today. I meant to go yesterday. My early voting location was closed, and I was like, it's a Sunday. Oops.
Oh, yesterday. We were supposed to go today. As a family. My mom's like, we're all going. This is the first election. All 5 of us are eligible to vote. My mom's like, we're all going to go. We were supposed to go on Wednesday because we were all home. Yeah. Didn't happen. She's probably going to... Wednesday's her birthday, though, so I don't know if she's going to push for Wednesday to go or what. But
great birthday present. Also, fun fact, if you are like me and have moved home since the past election or have moved at all since the past election, you may need to update your address because I was supposed to vote before I left, and I had checked and they had the wrong address. They had one of my college addresses for the last time I voted when I was in college. And I couldn't vote because my registration wasn't linked up with where I live now.
So we did try to vote, but you couldn't. Yeah. So now it's linked up.
Because I went to go do my mail-in ballot, and it was like, we can't find you. And I didn't realize it was under my college address, so it would have been sent there. So I had to update it, and it takes a while to update. So make sure that everyth's logged in correctly. This is why it's so annoying to change
attempt to vote early, and then you run into all these blocks, and then you're not. It's not election day, and you're trying to vote, and it's like, I have my college address on there, but I'm not over there anymore. It was like
an old college address, too. I was like, I don't even think I lived there when I voted last time. I think it was, like, the wrong, because, you know, college, you move around all the time. I was like, that's so weird. What a weird address to have on my registration. So, go vote. It's so important.
If you want a sticker, go to the mall. Yeah. I'm not going to just go to the store. There's stickers being thrown out there.
I would like a sticker.
I will bring you a sticker.
Please bring me a sticker. There's one. I really wanted to vote from home because there's a company that if you prove to them, you don't have to tell them like who you voted for, but if you prove to them that you voted from home, they'll send you a sticker that says, I voted from my couch in wherever you live.
Oh, that's funny.
I wanted it so badly.
Yeah, I couldn't. Not that I didn't care, but I kind of didn't really attempt to figure out how to get a mail-in ballot. So I was just like, I'll just go in. I plan to vote, but the ambition to figure out how to do it, if it wasn't just thrown in front of me, this is how you get a mail-in ballot, I didn't go searching for it. So I guess I'm going in person to vote.
I don't believe that there's any type of foul play going on with the mail-in ballots, but instead of risking it, just going to vote.
Yeah. I mean, my grandma, who's 91, who we have been yelling at her left and right to not go out, and she's doing this thing where she tells me because I've been going there for class. Like, just because class is home and I have to bring Andrew to work. And it's like, oh, it's just easier to stay up here than to drive back home for a 2 o'clock class.
Yeah.
She tells me at the beginning of my class, at 2 o'clock, oh, I'm going to the bank. Okay.
All right.
2.5 hours later, by the time I'm done with school, she's still not home. Grandma, where are you? Oh, I went to get my nails done.
Grandma, press-ons, the wave of the future. Safe. Cheap.
She tells me, I couldn't stand them. They were disgusting. This is what she says all the time. So she's doing this thing where she tells me where she's going one spot, and then she ends up in like 2 or 3 other places.
Yeah.
The week before, she was going to Aldi's, and then ended up in Big Lots, which is right next door.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not supposed to be going out.
Can we talk about, though, how it is really funny to see, because a few places down here have started closing, either because, closing, or they're like, hey, we're going to cut back our hours. And I've met quite a few people who I know who get, like, the eyelash extensions, or they have their nails done, or you can tell they, like, get lip injections, or, like, something happens where they can't get an appointment to go in. And I'm like, you only got half your eyelashes and you only got like one big lip. And I'm truly sorry. I'm not making fun of people who do it. That's great. We live in Boca. Everyone does it. It's really not a big deal. But it is so funny. My few friends, I made fun of them. Like, girl,
oh, I'm a Broward girl.
Happened?
I will full on make fun of you. I'm not a Boca girl.
I'm Boca girl. Go off. Do what you need
I'm
to
Broward.
do.
We make
Feel
fun
happy.
of you, Boca girls. Sorry.
I'll get made fun of.
Going back to how people are pulling back their hours, the mall is going back to full-time hours.
Yeah, which
starting
is
next week.
A little scary. I mean, I know it's good because I know people will get more hours when they're
Yeah.
working, but it's slightly scary to me that I'm like, oh god, that's so many more
What's
people.
scary is that they started extending a couple weeks ago. They started, and I know we're running out of time. Friday and Saturdays they started extending it by an hour, like staying open an hour later. So instead of closing at 7, it's closed at 8. And by like 7:30, we've slowed down. Like, it's not super busy, but it's also not like dead.
Yeah.
So obviously they're doing this because they can see the malls busier.
Yeah.
And I would understand if it was just on the weekends, because on the weekends it is getting busier. But during the week, it's kind of a hit or miss. Like, Mondays are pretty slow. I want to say like Tuesdays are. The rest of the week I don't know because I'm not there. But yeah, I think it's just more about how people are starting to come back out.
Yeah.
And like the mall's just in general busier. And again, it's good for people like me who need the hours, because it's like we were cut short because the mall cut their hours, and now that we're going back to regular. And actually, they're not fully back, because the mall used to be 9 to 9. They're only doing 10 to 9. So I guess that's
that 1 hour they were like, too much.
Yeah, right?
Can't do it. That one last hour.
Well, I mean, that's less time I have to. That's more time I get to sleep. I don't have to be up at 7. I could be up at 8 to be there at 10.
That's true.
All right, guys. This was fun. We're happy to have you back. We missed
happy
you.
to be back. I miss small talk. I miss the cafe.
The last time you were on, you wanted to do the goodbye saying.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to let you do it this time. Check us out next week, Monday, 10:30. I don't know what we're doing. We shall find out.
Think big, stay small.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our show with fun topics and random thoughts. Make sure to tune in next time for the new word of the week, along with new and exciting randomness. Till then, stay small, think big.